This podcast is sponsored by iTunes. Go to CheapSeatReviews.com, click on the iTunes banner, and purchase anything you want. Movie, audiobook, soundtrack to this movie, and a small portion that will go directly to our podcast.
Mr. Michael Jennings, under the terms of your non-disclosure agreement, you are considered never to have been an employee. You also understand that all your work is the intellectual property of Nexum Computers.
Yeah. I never worked here. I never saw anybody. I never was here. I got it. Is my paycheck ready?
Ding. We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that is scraping the bottom of the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is episode
low as we can get.
Right. This is episode 76, and today we are talking about Paycheck. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Chad, still uses a VCR, Evans.
Oh, crap, my microphone wasn't on. I'm sorry. I have to mute it every time you do your intro because, stuff.
Right.
Giggles.
Giggles and things.
Giggles. So
hi!
Damn.
Chad still uses a VCR, Evans.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And I'll have you know that the Betamax is really going to take the place of the VCR. It's the way of the future.
Future. In 2003. Okay. Cornelius, bad CGI dove, Logan.
So John Woo apparently had a guest spot in this movie. I was a fan.
He directed it.
Did he really? No, he didn't. Did he?
This is
not?
a John Woo film.
Hence the dove.
Yeah,
Well,
He
I'll
had
be
to have a
damned.
dove in there.
hence the dove, the Mexican
Whose film?
standoff, the slow. This is a John Woo film.
Well, I'll be damned. I should have read IMDb. Carry on.
Or the opening credits to the movie.
I don't watch that.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Sam remembers things in third-person vector.
The Titans.
I don't remember much. In fact, this is the first podcast I ever remember doing. You've swapped my mind for the past year and a half, and I don't remember what happened.
Well, you are a total
Don't look in your
gentleman
refrigerator.
the entire time.
We do have a special guest tonight.
Okay. This is again, it's a podcast. It's not video, so it's not going to be funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Well, of course you do, because you've had several beers, and we think it's funny because we can see you on Skype. But no one else listening is going to find your weird affectation.
I see what you did there.
Of Ben Affleck with an Australian accent from Austria.
Evening, boys. It's Ben. I can't wait to come talk to you about this movie.
I don't know what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first episode, I'm sorry. If you are still with us, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Jennifer and I are happy to be a part of this podcast tonight. Jennifer, give me a beer. Okay, honey.
This is gonna be
I
fun.
really don't know what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
Right.
So this is 2003's Paycheck.
Payback?
Paycheck.
Payback, right?
Chad should be very well familiar with this movie, as he's probably watched it 3 times now in the last 2 weeks.
I don't remember them.
That's because Sam shot your brain with a laser, and
Because that's how it works, because physics.
because physics.
Yeah.
Because science.
Well, before we get into all of the bad that is this movie, let's let Catherine say some nice things.
Paycheck. What seemed like a breezy idea for an engineer to net him millions of dollars leaves him on the run for his life and piecing together why he's being chased.
A breezy idea. That read is as bad as the movie. So yeah, this is 2003's Paycheck. This is the time of Ben Affleck's career when he was doing the worst things ever.
Absolutely.
This was a low point of his career. He's coming off the high of such movies as Dogma, which was actually pretty good, and Armageddon was whatever.
Wasn't he also in not Hunt for Red October, the one with Ben? Matt Damon.
Ben Stiller?
No, hold on.
No, they're Boston boys. He's really smart.
Oh,
Robin Williams was in it.
Goodwill
Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting. Thank you.
Yeah. As Chucky.
His name was Chucky.
He was wicked smart.
Yeah.
Wicked smart.
Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Glory Days. He's done some good stuff. Obviously, he was in Dazed and Confused also.
And that really awesome Marvel movie that one time.
Well, I was getting to that point. So then he did Reindeer Games, and then he does...
I met my wife on that movie,
He did. So he does Pearl Harbor.
Honey, put that movie in the VCR. Let's watch it again.
And he was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as Ben Affleck.
Yes.
But Pearl Harbor, I think, was kind of the downfall, because then he does Changing Lanes, which is where he gets angry at Samuel L. Jackson, which isn't really a good idea. And then he does...
it's not that bad of a movie.
He does Some of All Fears, which is okay. I actually kind of like.
Yeah.
And then he
You get
does...
to see Baltimore explode.
Yeah. And then he does Daredevil, which everyone hated. And then he does Geely, which was terrible.
Oh, God.
And then he does Paycheck, which we'll talk about. And
You mean Payback?
Yeah. And then he doesn't really get good again until The Town. 2010.
Which town?
It's just called The Town. And then he does Argo, and then Runner. And
He directed
Gone
Argo
Girl.
too, so
He did. And he's in, of course, he's also in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, which according to IMDb is in post-production. And he's also going to be in something called Untitled Batman Reboot, so I guess he's getting his own standalone film. Justice League Part 1 and Part 2 have already been announced. He's also filming Suicide Squad. So he's going to be pretty busy just in the DC universe the next few years.
interesting. So he's putting a lot of eggs in that basket.
Yeah, and let's hope that it's good, because DC is really banking on these movies to be successful.
They also thought Green Lantern was going to be successful.
Yeah, they put Ryan Reynolds in it, and he wasn't the worst part of that movie. The movie was the direction and the set design and the writing.
And the glowing ass mask. Heck.
I was really dumb that they just CGI'd his whole uniform. I thought that was real dumb. Along with everything else in that movie. The only thing that wasn't dumb in that movie was Blake Lively, and that's because she's hot. But that's the only reason
You might say she's lively.
Yeah.
No.
No, she is.
No.
She's very attractive.
Incomplete.
She's more attractive than Uma Thurman.
Yeah, actually, I'll go there. She is way more attractive than Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman, I find her not really hot, but she's like attractive in the way that I know she could kick my ass, kind of a thing. So like
Blake Lively is the Ferrari to Uma Thurman's Pinto.
Oh no,
Wow,
that's
wow,
mean.
Sam, that's
no.
It's been waxed. You know, they can make it look
Stop
pretty.
it.
Put some
Stop
racing
it.
stripes on it.
That's mean.
Yeah.
No, she's more like. I mean, she's not that. She's still a nice.
I'm sure she's a very nice
I
person.
wouldn't kick her out of bed.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
don't
John Woo directed this movie.
Woo,
Corny.
woo.
In case you were wondering, Chad, you've made that joke now like 6 times and no one's laughing.
Damn it! Someone will laugh at this joke.
I doubt it. Mostly known for his Chinese film. He comes over here and does Hard Target, and then he does Broken Arrow. Have we done that for this movie, for this podcast?
No, we have not.
Oh,
We have
we should. And then he does Face Off, which is whatever. And then Mission Impossible 2, which is terrible. And then Wind Talkers, which I actually like. And then Paycheck, which is obviously this film. And then he does a bunch of weird stuff. Red Cliff and Red Cliff 2 and some other stuff I've never heard of.
Red Cliff 3, The Darkening.
Yeah. So that John Woo, he's of course known for Doves
and Running.
A little bit, mostly guys on motorcycles, Doves, the Mexican Standoff, what's it called? The not the amnesia, but like the surprise on this person. What am I trying to say? You know, like in Mission Impossible 2. Yeah, not just the reveal, but like the disguise. Like Mission Impossible 2. Everybody's wearing a damn mask, you know, and he does the same thing. And the Total Recall, you know, and he did Total Recall, right? No, that's not right.
No,
I didn't think so. It just kind of feels like him for some reason. Anyway, Broken Arrow is the same thing. Like the bad guy does a flip. He's not who he says he is. Whatever. So that's just kind of another thing that he does. And that's okay. I find him interesting, I guess, in most of his action films, but not this one. So
this one falls fairly short.
So Chad.
Yes.
This is the part of the podcast where I ask you three and myself, when was the last time you've seen it? Do you think it holds up? What are your initial impressions?
Well, like I said last week.
2 weeks ago. Last week was Sharknado.
Oh, excuse me. 2 weeks ago, if you'll recall, I said that I had seen the bits and pieces of this film a long time ago. I do remember parts of it. I did remember the ending, which really didn't help matters any. So when I watched it the whole time for this podcast, it held my attention because it was kind of like, it almost reminded me of like Zelda, you know, The Legend of Zelda, because you got like different tools for different things, and you use the tools at the right time, you know, to make it work. And you really don't know what the tools are for until you get into the situation. So, you know, one of those.
Yeah, and he had a horse. His name is Uma. I'm kidding.
Oh man! Uma
I didn't even go that far. I just called her.
I'm sorry, I had to do the joke.
I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast. Not that she would, but.
Well, in her defense, she wasn't very attractive in this film.
Okay. All right.
I don't think she was. I don't see her as this smart scientist person.
No, I don't either.
Can I ask a question?
You may ask as many questions as you want, Chad.
In this universe, in this facility that they have, that somehow takes place like 20 years into the future, but it was still like 1989. What's her purpose? Like she's a biologist messing with plants.
Yeah.
Didn't actually say what kind of biologist she is. She's just a biologist.
She's not a botanist.
Shouldn't she be a botanist?
Yeah, which is the actual word they should have used. She's a biologist. So she just studies all living things.
You know, because science.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, we'll get into all that stuff. I mean, if you want to actually answer the question, there is no answer because they don't even answer it in the movie. You know, like Aaron Eckhart walks him in and goes, "This is our botany place. It was once our smallest. Now it's our most profitable." But what does it do? What do you do?
It makes lightning sounds and fans kick up wind.
Why? What purpose does that serve at all?
That's what's profitable.
Right, like that's the thing. Is like I literally wrote in my notes. It was like, why do you need to have a room that can make thunder and fake lightning so the plants feel like they're in nature?
No, so you can use it later on in the grand finale.
Exactly. Like that's the only point of that. That's so dumb. Continue on, Chad. Sorry.
Let's see. What else? What else was I gonna bitch about this film?
Well, we've got plenty more to bitch about, but I mean, like, and I'm here to say this: I own this movie on DVD, and I am here to not only not to defend that action, but to chastise myself for buying it. So there you go.
He's chastising himself.
Well,
can't do that in public, you know.
Well, yeah, I know. I have to go to a little room with a priest or something. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I can admit that I made a mistake. I was a different time. I was a kid. You know, I bought it. It's not my turn. Are you done, Chad?
I'm done.
All right. Feel free to chime in with more bad because we're going to talk about the bad real soon. Corny.
All right. So when this movie first came out, I actually saw it in theaters, and I was a fan. So what?
I did too.
Did you really?
I saw this in the theater. We didn't see it in Boone together, did we?
No, we didn't.
Why do you go to this to see in the theater?
It seemed interesting.
It really did. It was actually very different at the time. I mean, you didn't have a lot of the idea of, the guy takes crap apart and all of a sudden he's in trouble for something he didn't do, that kind of thing, or whatever he saw. And I thought it was very interesting. So I saw it, and it might have been because I was with a girl, but, who knows? Most likely not, because that just wasn't a thing. And so I liked the movie. And then maybe I've watched it another 1 or 2 times over the years, and I had that nostalgia with it. But then I watched it for the podcast, and damn this podcast, I hate this movie now.
Yeah.
It got so bad because of this movie. Oh, but yeah, I'm looking at the rating right now, and
it's a 6.3.
6.3.
Yeah, that seems a little high.
This is a little high my standards. But
there must be a lot of people that just really like
love them some Afleck. I tell you what,
like the niche that this thing is. Yeah, Sam.
This is the first time seeing this one. I watched it today and did not care for it at all. It reminded me of some of the worst '90s action films. The set pieces are there. Basically, there was 3 sets in this whole thing. You've got the biology lab. You've got what is that giant underground bunker office that guy has? I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know. It's a real place.
It reminded me of a Bond villain hangout.
Yeah, it's some place in Vancouver. I don't know. It's a real place. It's not like they built that for that location.
Yeah.
They just set dressed it.
But it reminded me of all the bad 90s
and then the outdoor scene.
Yeah.
There's 3 locations. There's Botany Place, Bunker, and Outdoors.
Yeah. So I got bored real quick. It tried to be clever with the little items like Chad was talking about. Mm-hmm. But to me, it was just kind of, I don't know, they never really connected really that well. I mean, really, who would give himself hairspray and a lighter to fend off a guy with a gun? How many times did he outrun a trigger pull in this movie?
Yeah.
A gun has
I tell you, I was totally checked out of this movie when
you were totally paychecked out of this movie
when he was doing the bow practice with fuzzy curveball guy.
Oh, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Be nice to Paul Giamatti. He's the best part of this movie.
He really is. I do like him. I didn't say anything negative. He's just fuzzy.
He was very hairy.
Yeah.
I'll be fair. He was very hairy.
But there's a lot of bad things about this movie. I'm trying to think of what was good. I didn't like Uma Thurman in it. I do like Two-Face. I thought that was he was a good bad guy. And he was Two-Face in this too. Maybe this was his audition tape.
Maybe.
Oh.
He wasn't bad in this movie.
So you had Two-Face and Batman in the same movie, and the Penguin with Paul Giamatti.
I'm going back to it. I don't think the acting was really that bad. I thought they did as much as they could with a script that was pretty bad. It surprises me for a John Woo film to be so not cinema. The cinematography is not there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that one. The cinematography was bad. Hold on, Corny.
Yeah.
Did you say that Paul Giamatti was the Penguin?
I was making a joke, about Batman and.
Well, Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy, so you've got the
that
three
is actually
right
true.
there, and then you got Paul Giamatti as the Rhino and a useless part in Amazing Spider-Man 2. So we certainly have some comic book connections here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And those are the only 4 people that matter really. Well, you got Colin Feore.
Colin Farrell.
No, not him. Calm Feore. He was like the right hand man of Aaron Eckhart.
He's from Mexico.
He plays. I don't think so. He plays. He was in Spider-Man 2, and he was also in Thor as Laufey. And the Chronicles of Riddick. He's actually really good in the Chronicles of Riddick. So anyway, there you go. Oh, he's in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sorry. As guy what gets shocked by Electro and then brought back to life. There you go. So okay.
Cool.
So me.
So what about you?
I saw this in the theater back in 2003. I just did. I also saw the other Affleck movie. I also saw Some of All Fears in the movie theater that year also.
I could give you that one.
A buddy of mine, a buddy of ours, Andrew, was like, dude, you need to go watch this movie. It's kind of scary how quote unquote believable it is. And then I watched the movie and I was like, it was kind of a fun movie, but I wouldn't use the word believable. I'm not really scared that some weird neo-Nazi is going to make Russia and the United States launch nukes at each other. But anyway, so I watched it in the theater, and I actually really, really liked it. I was really engaged with the idea that a guy could use basically a time telescope and look into the future and then give himself little things along the way, very Zelda style. I like that, Chad. That was very clever. Use these things, and then he can do whatever he wants, basically. And so the movie came out, and I bought it on DVD, and I probably watched it 2 or 3 times while owning it. But I know I haven't watched it since I've been married, and I'm pretty sure I haven't watched it since graduating college. So it's been 10 years since I've seen it. So then I watched it yesterday and realized this movie does not hold up at all.
No.
The VCR thing was the first thing that smacked me in the face, and I was like, what the hell? 2003 people. Come on. Like, DVDs were not only a thing, and I know DVDs didn't last that long because Blu-ray came pretty quickly after that, but still, we had DVD burners in college. Like, the 4 of us probably didn't have access to them because they were like $700. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that far off to accept the fact that he would have had something like that. Hell, TiVo was like a year later, so come on. So my initial impression is that though I still laughed at a couple moments, I still laughed at Paul Giamatti being silly. I think half my clips are of him, and he's only in the movie like 7 minutes. And I still, some of the things I liked. I thought some of the action was okay, but a lot of it was really useless and pointless.
Yes.
I thought that the car chase scene was beyond over the top.
Yes.
Because here's the problem with John Woo. He's so used to doing these kind of over the top action 90s flicks like Face Off, right? Where everything's made of explodium. You shoot a boat, it explodes, things like that. So then we go into the 2000s and we've kind of got away from that, and we're in this movie that uses quote unquote science and a little bit of magic with the time machine, the time telescope, and you're still having cars hitting solid objects, flipping over and exploding into fireballs for some reason. Like
that one chase car that hits the pipe, which it should have broken the little cylinder. It should have gone through it or torn that up.
Yeah.
Or it immediately blew up.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Exactly. Why would the car explode like that?
Explodium.
It's explodium. All cars are made of explodium. So, to answer
they recalled most of them, but apparently they're all over in California.
And in this case, they were in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah, they were filming in Vancouver. So, I don't know if I answered my own question, but basically, I watched this yesterday, and it was shaking. I was what's the word? I can't think. Face palming like a third of the movie. It's like we need you to. So the premise of the movie, if you missed it from what Catherine said, right? Basically, he reverse engineers things, right? So that other companies can make it cheaper, faster, better.
Yeah.
So my question is this: one, they hire him, hot lawyer lady. She was, by the way, the prettiest girl in the movie, I think. The lawyer lady from Cold Case or whatever she is.
She's got a large forehead. That's always bothered me about her.
Well, she's got other good assets.
Picky.
I know, right?
Makes me think of evil people.
So
all evil have large foreheads.
So this new technology, right, is the 3D screen, your computer screen. Like, why the hell you would want that? I don't know, but that's the technology.
It's in 3D.
Right. I don't want my spreadsheet numbers to come flying out at me. That would be, you know what I'm saying? Like, how unproductive would that be? So then he
But you could have a hot lady sitting in front of you.
I guess. So then he reverse engineers it, right? So then I'm sitting there and he's doing the Tony Stark thing with the pen and he's breaking things down. And I'm like, that technology is cooler than the technology you're building now.
Absolutely.
Like, what? like literally the technology he's using to reverse engineer this technology is better than the technology he's trying to reverse engineer. So then he comes up with this clever thing where he's like, so then I thought, I don't need the screen. And he takes the screen away. So you just got this holographic person. How useless is that? Like, can you type on that? Like, if you type, is she repeating the words? Like, what are you doing with that? Other than the fact that it's a pretty girl that you can poke your finger at. It was... that's the stuff I had problems with. You know. So there you go. That's it. I'm done. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not done. We coined the phrase a few weeks ago. I don't. Hopefully you remembered. If not, we call it the Bobo. When there's a thing or character that's introduced in the movie that we think is going to serve a purpose, but ultimately doesn't, and then just disappears. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bobo. So I actually thought that lawyer chick was going to come back. Like, for some reason. I thought she was going to kind of whatever. Shoot, where was I going with this? I have completely forgotten.
Was that the one that had sex with him?
Yeah, I thought she was going to come back for some reason. I don't know why. Damn it.
You were hoping.
I'll have to think about it as we keep talking. I had a great Bobo moment in this podcast, for the movie, and I can't remember what it is now. Okay. Well, shoot. What was I going to say? So the other things that I hated in this movie, because we're just going to talk about that stuff. I hate it when movies do this, and this isn't the only one that's done it. A lot of movies have done this. I'll even say it, even Star Trek did it, and it drives me crazy, is when movies use actual movie footage to represent a security cam, or in this case, a memory. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, and I was going to talk about that too, because in the Wayback Machine, whatever that was,
Way Forward Machine,
the telescope. Yeah. I don't know how they could have envisioned it, but I don't see it like a camera. I don't think it would be seen like a camera like that.
I'm not even talking about that, but that's a good point, Sam, too. Like your intro or someone's intro, like you remember in third dimension, is like if they're zapping his memories, it's like these random camera angles, and they're camera angles that were from the movie.
And I think it would have been better if maybe it was from his POV.
Right, it's his memory.
Yeah. Because otherwise it makes no sense. Are you looking at it from a fly in the room?
Right.
Is the future machine just picking up a point? That's the best cinematography they could make at that time.
Well, yeah. So if you want to talk about the time telescope not only shows you with really cool shots, it has a sense of dramatic timing, so that the camera will actually go in front of the bullet and then pan around to see Ben Affleck die.
Yeah.
So it's just that stuff. I hate that stuff. Why it should be in first person. It's your future.
Yep.
I
completely agree.
Like,
there seems like some kind of motivational poster can come out of what you just said. It's your life. Make it in first person.
Yeah, it's your future. Make it first person. I'll work on that tomorrow, alongside of You Can't Keep a Good Robot Down. That stuff. Yeah, Sam, you're right. That stuff drives me crazy. And it's not just this movie. Just we're making fun of this movie. A lot of movies do that. Yeah, a lot of movies do it, and it drives me crazy.
Speaking of things that drive you crazy, so today for the first time, again thanks to this podcast, I decided that if I saw a computer screen, and I knew I would, is to take a little, quick pause and see what's actually on said screen. So when Paul Giamatti is wiping Ben Affleck's brain the first time, and I happened to take a look, and most of it seemed pretty normal, to be honest with you. A couple little
there was some
parameters set there,
codes and some things, yeah.
And then what I saw was timeout, and which is pretty indicative of your network not, talking to something. Mm-hmm. And I kept thinking, well, the reason why the guy bumps the machine and it automatically spikes, you have poor connection. You should probably fix that. That'd be my.
So I love the bumped machine too. Again, that's almost like a Bobo story if you think about it, because he was like, oh, if you get above was it 39
or see whatever
degrees,
some
40,
number, yeah.
Celsius?
43.
Yeah, he turns into a vegetable, right? Well, he hit that later.
Yeah.
He was, according to that computer, he was well over that.
Yeah.
He
Like
should have been a
twice,
vegetable.
He should have been a veg, as he said.
A veg.
A veg.
Yeah.
Anybody else take offense at the word veg? Like, I immediately was like, oh, you can't say that. You can't say veg.
It didn't bother me. It wasn't like not the way you're saying it. I just didn't like him saying the word. You know, I
Like
just,
the word moist. Some people just don't like the word moist.
To me, it's more like, and this isn't a Paul Giamatti thing. This is just because we all work with kids essentially. You guys, Chad and Corny work with 18 and younger. Sam and I both work with 21 and 2 and younger.
I work from 16 to death.
that's fair. So anyway, so whatever this generation is and their proclivity for shortening words. I think I've griped about this on this podcast before where they say things like, "Oh, it's just cash."
Yeah.
Things like that drive me. I don't know why they drive me nuts. And literally, my students will talk like that, and I'll tell them to stop. They'll say something. I'll go, "Don't talk like that," and they'll give me a look like, "Why not? I can talk how I want to." I'm like, if you want a job in the real world, stop talking like that.
Are you threatening your students for talking?
No, I would never do that. It's freedom of speech ish.
You have the freedom. You have the freedom to say what you want. You don't have the freedom to be an idiot.
Yeah, you also have the freedom to get ridiculed for saying dumb stuff.
Yes.
What?
Or having your rebel flag on your truck.
According to the U.S., we're not going to go there. Let's not go there. But when I will, I already played that clip. I
was going to go back to what Corny kind of said with Paul Giamatti and the bumping of the computer.
Oh, yeah.
If it's that important, don't you think you would clear the room? You would keep people back? It just seems to me an awfully dangerous situation to have clumsy pants walking around.
I'm going to add on to that, okay?
Okay.
They're doing a dangerous scientific procedure. Where the hell are the doctors? Shouldn't there be at least one doctor in there? One. In case something actually does go bad. Because Paul Giamatti, he's more like the tech, right?
Yeah.
He's the mechanic. He just happens to be working on his brain. But you know what I'm saying? He's not a doctor. He's a mechanic that just uses a computer and a laser on the guy's brain.
Kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception.
Yeah, I guess.
They're putting crazy chemicals into their bodies to go into their dreams. You would think they'd need a doctor.
Yeah. So it's just... There should have been a doctor. And then later on when Colm Fjord, what's-his-face, uses that gun injection thing, which is also kind of a trope anyway by itself. Why does that have to look like a gun? Who knows? But anyway, I guess because it makes it look more menacing. But, which is also it looks like the exact same prop he used in Amazing Spider-Man 2, now that I think about it. You know, when he injects
they're probably reusing it all over and over again.
Maybe it's just his gun.
Yeah, it's like it's his personal one.
Like in his contract, it's like, I must use his gun. There's no point in I must use this gun.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, he didn't use it as...
It's a romantic comedy, and he's got to use his...
Yeah. You need to get your tetanus shot. What the hell is that? Don't worry about it.
In this movie, you don't have arms in this movie. I don't care.
I need my gun.
I'm surprised he didn't have it in Thor for somehow. He snuck it in there. I don't know.
This is the wrath of Krognar. Let me inject you with it.
I am Laufey, and here is my ice gun thingy. I don't know.
Ice gun? Really? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what we've gotten to at this point.
Like he fights Thor with Mjolnir, and he takes that gun out, and they're just going to town.
Yeah. Instead of the casket being that blue box that Loki steals, it's the gun. It's that thing. It's that needle injection thing. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But my point is that there's no doctor in the room. Ben Affleck should immediately go, "Where's the doctor? I'm not going near you or that crazy gun that's going to stick something into my brain without a doctor." Without someone...
The only thing I could see that would argue why there's not a doctor is that all of this is completely illegal. But they could, just like we mentioned last week, they could find a vet. They could find a gynecologist gynecologist to come in and administer the drugs.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? Where are we now?
But I mean, we live in movie fantasy world where cars are made of explodium, okay?
Yeah.
And everyone on his payroll was willing to kill in the middle of the street because Aaron Eckhart told them to. I'm sure he's got an evil doctor on his payroll. I mean,
might I add that the bullets were made of explodium too?
yeah, sure.
They loved shooting down glass stuff.
They just, I mean, those. You're right. I mean, those bullets hit stuff and everything flew just to millions of pieces.
Yep.
Everything. Like that shootout in the train station where Paul Giamatti like says a joke. Okay, hold on. Let's be real. If we're in a situation where bullets are flying, we're not cracking wise.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking
in my pants.
Sam probably would.
I'd probably crack a joke.
At Sam peeing his pants?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Try to diffuse the situation? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's one thing if, like, we're in the mall and we hear gunfire, and we're like, we kind of look at each other and go, time to get the hell out of here, and we kind of run away like Scooby-Doo. But, like, if bullets are flying...
I'd go straight to the drugstore, get some hairspray and a lighter, and go after them.
That's right. We're going after those guys. I'll get a paper clip. Corny gets the... what do you get? The silver dollar?
Orange Julius.
Oh, you're going to get an orange Julius. You're going to throw it
Chad's
out.
got the soft pretzel.
I'm not going to throw it.
I got the soft pretzel.
Okay. Chad's going to blind him with the mustard.
By the way, this is apparently a pilot from MacGyver, because that entire bag could have taken down a nation.
But how much of that stuff in there was sheer luck that he found out?
Okay.
You know, he accidentally dropped a little bit of water on that matchbox, or the matches.
Yeah.
And it popped out.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe he knew that that was going to happen.
Okay, so this is the subject this is something I really wanted to talk about for this podcast, because I find this fascinating. The concept of quote unquote time travel in movies is interesting, and sometimes movies don't do it very well.
No.
So here's the thing. In order for every one of those specific scenarios to have happened, he had to have looked into the future with his machine and saw
it happening, which means, right, that he would have already had to have given himself those items. Mm-hmm.
So the movie has already created a paradox.
Yeah.
Immediately. Or have you guys seen the movie Jumper? Not Jumper. Have you seen the movie Push?
No.
Corny?
No.
I figured you would have watched that with me. Chad, you probably haven't watched it either, have you?
No.
It's actually a really good Chris Evans kind of weird sci-fi kind of a thing, and it's.
If he's not holding a shield, I don't care.
What about a telekinetic shield?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you with me now? It's got Dakota Fanning, and I can't remember his name, but he's the tall black guy from Gladiator. You know what I'm talking about?
Omeka Okafor?
You know what? Omeka Okafor was a basketball player in the NBA, and I applaud you for knowing that, Sam. But
I don't think he knew that. I think he was trying to say Chetwell.
No, not Chetwell Ejiofor. Not him either.
I think Sam was going for that.
I see the face.
He's really tall. He was the big athletic.
You said the guy in Gladiator, right?
Yeah.
I'm on it.
We're all on it.
It wouldn't be
Digimon Hansu.
Not Danny DeVito.
That's a TV show.
Digimon Hansu. Yeah.
It's a terrible ripoff of Pokemon, I believe.
I can't say his name. You know what? Are you guys seeing who I'm seeing? DJIMON. Digimon. Digimon? Maybe it's Digimon. Jimon. Jimon Hansu. Anyway. He's the bad guy in the movie, right? So the idea is that like all these people have like these specific sets of powers. So Chris Evans can
specific set of skills.
Yeah, Chris Evans has telekinetics, so he can like move things with his mind and whatever. Dakota Fanning can see the future, and everyone else has like these specific kind of whatevers that they can do. And people that can push, they can literally look into your eyes and implant an idea in your brain that you think is real. And that idea could even mean
so like Twilight.
What? do you mean Twilight?
You know, all the vampires have like a special
Yes.
gift.
Yes. Kind of like Twilight. Yeah.
That's scary that Chad knows that.
It is.
I am actually ashamed that I know that.
That's okay, pal. It's
No,
it's
it's actually not okay.
No, Chad.
No, don't condone that.
No,
Don't
I'm
condone
gonna.
that.
Not only am I
No.
gonna condone it, Chad, that you and I can form a support group, because you've seen the movies, obviously, because your wife liked them, and you watched them because you're a good husband, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we're gonna say,
yeah.
right?
That's what we're gonna go with.
That's the story we're gonna go with. We've not watched them individually on our own. We watched them because our wives made us, right?
Sure.
No, that's
You
not
could
sure.
say that all you want.
No, that's the truth.
But I'm gonna.
That's the truth. And because my wife asked me to, and I'm a good husband, I read the first 2 books. After that, I said no more.
I can't help you there, buddy.
That's fine. She said, I want you to read these so you understand why I like them so much. And I read them, and I said, I don't understand. And she said, well, thank you for reading them. They weren't hard reads or anything. But anyway.
Then she slapped you.
So the point I'm trying to get
I liked
to,
it better when it was called, 50 Shades of Grey.
that was the fanfic.
Yeah.
And of course you like that. The point that I'm trying to get to is that in the movie Push and in Twilight, the people that can see into the future, Alice can see into the future in Twilight, and Dakota Fanning's character can see into the future in Push. But she can only go in the future up into a decision, right? She can see what's going to happen until someone hasn't made the decision yet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that Corny, because I can read his mind, blah, 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 is going to, finish his podcast, and he's going to go to bed, and he's going to do all these things. But until he makes the decision tomorrow at noon what he's going to have for lunch, I don't know what he's going to do yet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the way that my brain is trying to comprehend this movie is that thing, that same concept, is that he is watching this thing, and then he gets to the point where he dies in the weird spinning chair of death in the stupidest FBI room ever, where why the hell does the fire alarm unlock the chair, spew such noxious gas and lights that the people inside the room can't escape? This is literally a room of death. That room's on fire, you are screwed.
Hey, why is he smoking in the building? I'm pretty sure there's a whole no smoking policy in that building.
Yeah, it's a federal building. 2003, sure, just smoke, it's fine. So that's the point, though, is that he had to have known that that would happen. But how could he have known that would happen unless, while he was standing at the machine, he injected different scenarios?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know why.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I know exactly why. Because he's Batman.
Oh. Because I'm Batman. Yeah. So that's the problem with the movie, is that
That's pretty good, Sean, by
is
the way.
that the only thing that makes sense to my brain is that he literally stood in that machine and looked at himself and then got to a problem. Uh-oh, there's a problem here. There's a guy with a gun. So now I have to make the decision that I'm going to mail myself. What could I use as a weapon? Pink hairspray and a big-ass lighter. Okay, I've made the decision now that I'm going to put that in the bag. Now I can see myself cooking that guy's face off with the thing. Okay, now I get to this next problem. The train's going to run me over. Okay, I have to make the decision to put a paperclip so I can stop the train. Like, that's the only way my brain can accept it. Whether or not John Woo was smart enough to do that, I don't know. But
yet, when the guy at the end decided to look into his future and saw him blowing the hell up, could he not have changed that somehow?
maybe because it was so fast.
It was
So
so
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
so close in the immediate future that he
Yeah.
could not do anything.
Yeah. Basically, that led to what we learned for the episode. I can go and say it now, but I wrote what we learned for the episode is that you can't change the future unless you're the hero.
Yep.
I mean, that's
True.
basically kind of what I learned. So I mean, that was the thing.
I liked how
wanted-
Skynet took over and nuclear bombs started dropping.
That was crazy, right? And the whole microfiche was kind of funny. Did you guys notice this? This is one thing I thought was actually interesting. You know, he makes the joke, "Oh, I used an extra stamp. I guess I can afford the extra 50 cents." They guessed that inflation of stamps would make it to 50 cents by this point in time, but we're still using VCRs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, they thought they'd be all futuristic by using a Honda Element as a taxi. I thought that was kind of funny. I got a couple clips I'm going to play real quick, and then we'll get to the trivia. Do you have anything else you guys need to talk about this movie and things that bothered you?
No. You know what? But why not have the... Sorry, I said no.
No, but these things.
Why not invent the technology for the mind wipe thing that Men in Black have?
Oh, the neuralizer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or why not give yourself a giant wood stove door to put under your shirt when the guy shoots you in the chest?
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have snuck that he couldn't have mailed that to himself. But while they were on the outside, he keeps having these dreams of this moment. Why doesn't he go to the Army surplus store and buy some Kevlar? I mean,
why not dismantle the gun that you know the guy's going to use?
Well, I think it's because that CGI dove got in his face and he didn't know what to do. That's
the moment this movie dropped below a 5 for me was when he dodged the bullet at the end.
Oh, God.
If you go back and look, he dodged the bullet. His watch said go, and in slow motion, the guy shoots the gun before he even starts to jump away.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, you lost me there, Woo. No, thank you.
Well, it's actually pretty good if it took it that long for it to lose you.
I meant it was steadily dropping from a 10. Let me just tell you that throughout the entire movie. But that was when I was like, I'm done with this crap. There's no more I want to see.
That's interesting. I think we've talked about this before. Like, you start at a 10, and then as the movie goes, it either drops below or stays. Or I mean, obviously, no movie's going to be a 10, except for you, maybe Jurassic Park. But
no, even Jurassic Park would have flaws.
Maybe like a 9.5 or something like that for you.
I give it, yeah. Oh well, I don't know, dude.
I know. Yeah,
rewatchability, yes, but something like Shawshank would get higher than Jurassic Park in terms of a cheap seat review glasses review.
And that's fair. The what I was saying is, like, I kind of start everything at like a 6, and then can you work your way up from there? And this movie didn't. Not for me. Chad, you still there? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Have you done your thing?
I'm just. Which thing?
The thing where you have to hang up and call yourself back.
Oh, that thing.
Are we at an hour?
We're at 50 minutes.
Oh, there he is. So actually, that's very interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting though. We haven't talked about this before. How do we go about assessing our points for the movie? Our vote.
Yeah, well, it's hard to do it on a scale across the board for me because some of these movies I've seen and some of them I haven't. So like my rating of Wolf of Wall Street was literally, I'm just going to start at a 5. I have no expectations. And then as the movie went along, I'm like, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This part didn't like, but this game, like, you know. So whereas this movie, I already had in my mind because I'd seen it a bunch of times a long time ago. So like my mind was like, this is going to be a 7 or an 8 because this movie was fun. And then from there, it just took the big roller coaster drive down the hill, you know. So it just depends on my preconceived notion of the movie, you know. Like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I had no clue what that movie was about. I went into it at like a 5. We're just going to start at a 5 and just go from there. And I had a good time with it, you know, and I was really pleased when it ended at like an 8 or whatever I said. What about you, Corny? You asked the question.
Yeah. For me, it's about how much the movie keeps my attention. The more it keeps my attention, the higher my number goes. So if I'm watching, say, this movie, and halfway through it, I'm wanting to play Black Ops, it's not going to be a high number.
That's fair.
So which is why a movie like Drinking Buddies, which I actually rated pretty high, because it kept my attention. I know it's very weird, but it did.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you had to pay attention because you couldn't hear any of the dialogue.
That's actually very true. Oh, well.
It's hard to explain to people that because because I having worked in movies, like I understand how the thing works, whatever. And they're like, oh, it's just him being artistic. No, you can be artistic with camera angles. You can't fake bad sound. I mean, you know what I'm saying? M. Night Shyamalan has made a career off of weird camera angles, and we just call it artistic. You know what I'm saying?
As opposed to terrible.
As opposed to terrible. Like I'll never forget this.
He visually, M. Night Shyamalan visually is amazing.
Yeah.
Writing,
except for
not so much.
Except for Airbender, which was still terrible. Regardless, it looked bad. Everything about it was terrible. But like The Sixth Sense.
Well, I mean, it came from a bad story, so you can't really.
Ooh, hold on. You're about to make two people very upset. That was very unfortunate, Sam. Chad, are you back?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, how are ya?
Cordy is threatening Sam with a dinosaur toy. Oh, this is great. This is really great. The only thing I have to threaten you with is the ghost of what's his name from?
Get that R2D2 with the happy birthday.
That's all I have. This is also great for radio.
Great for listeners who can't see the video stream.
Yeah, sorry, we're all idiots. We apologize. This all right.
So it was a different time.
It was a different time. I do have some more. I have a couple of clips that I'm going to keep forever because of this movie, and I thank you for that. I was trying to think if there's anything last thing I want to say about this movie before I do the clips and trivia. I still can't remember the Bobo moment, and I remember having one. But whatever. Anyway.
No, didn't you say the lawyer was the Bobo moment?
Well, yeah, kind of, because I thought she was going to come back and have some kind of meaningful impact later on. But I thought there was another part, and I just can't remember what it was. Paul Giamatti was almost a Bobo, because he just shows up and then and also he's like at the end of the movie, like, well, wait a minute, where did you come from? That's okay. Another thing I was thinking of. Oh, another thing I had issues with in the car chase scene. And the guy's like, oh, he's making it for the tunnel, and then he comes out of the tunnel, and the helicopters are like, what? We give up? Wait a minute. That didn't make any sense to me. It wasn't like he traveled underground for like 6 miles. You know what I'm saying? Like
just hover and wait. You'll find them eventually.
Right. It seemed like he wasn't underground because it shows him underground. Then she hits the cop in the face with her helmet, which was kind of fun. And then they just.
Oh, that was so dumb.
Well, yeah,
no offense,
but no, it was.
She
dumb.
threw it at him, and you could see it coming. For God's sake!
Oh yeah.
Not even that. The guy drove the car into this thing. Like, no, just stop. Tell me where this thing ends up, and then go.
Yeah, just drive around. It was real dumb. Just stop at the entrance and just send someone else that hasn't blown up to the other side. But Sam, that's what you're saying earlier, Sam. Like. This movie still stinks of the 90s, of 90s action.
Yeah,
and you guys know I love me some 90s action, but...
I love the 90s action, not the 2000s trying to be 90s action.
Yeah, it didn't work in this movie. I don't know why, but in this movie, it didn't work. And I guess maybe because this movie is supposed to be set in a future, where we have flip phones and VCRs and 3D screens, but... It didn't work for me at all. It just didn't work for me. But you know what did work for me? Aaron Eckhart saying things.
Give up 3 years of my life?
Not give up. Trade. 3 years in return for the rest of your life. One big paycheck. Done.
Ding. That's twice in the movie.
Twice. Yep.
This was fun.
What were you doing exactly?
I was eating pie.
So I now have forever.
I was eating pie.
And by the way, we all know that would be what would happen.
Oh my gosh.
They came in with a gun. What were you doing?
I was eating pie.
So now I can do this.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Sorry, I was
eating pie.
Yeah, see? I can do that from now on. It makes me laugh. It's
I was eating pie.
Just like the way he says it. Okay. Paul Giamatti being kind of funny.
Don't you leave me alone. Gosh, you'll be fine. Talk, mingle. I don't want to mingle.
I don't want want to mingle. But the beginning of that clip, I laughed out loud when I was recording it. So now I captured this, and I have now this forever.
Whenever Sam says something like Joe Pesci was in The Gladiator.
There you go. Hold on. What was that, Sam? Okay. So what were you doing?
I was eating pie.
Oh, okay.
Eventually we're going to get to a point where you can have entire conversations with yourself.
Well,
I think he does.
It was a different time.
Hey, Sean, who prompted you to do this?
The devil.
And of course, you know that this movie is based on
Stupid book.
So. Sorry.
I do have to. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't find a certain montage in this scene or in this movie.
Was there?
You know what? They avoided all montages.
I believe it was the montage of him doing his techie engineering of the computer.
You are so right. You're right. It was the opening credits montage of him doing the thing that he does for a living. Again, with the better tech than what he was inventing. The other thing I thought was strange is they gave him, they had them next to each other, and that stupid guy in a suit goes, "This is all you did?" What the hell? You couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
it'd be kind of like watching a DVD film of how to make cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Now that you've said that, it reminds me. So I work at a community college, and we have various bits of tech, and so for accessibility purposes, we have a computer that will screen read and talk to you and tell you things, and guess what the instructions are on? Tape, an actual cassette tape. The instructions in 2015 are on a cassette tape. Please explain to me why this makes sense.
Wow,
that's awesome.
I still have overhead projectors in my building, so anyway, yep. What was where am I? This technobabble.
We knew Decker was trying to design something, but when he sold his plans, he wasn't even halfway done.
I don't understand.
Decker was working at JPL on a laser-enhanced lens. He claimed the lens was powerful enough to see around the curvature of the universe. Decker believed that if you could see around a curve that went on forever, you would end up back where you started, looking at yourself.
Except you're not looking back at yourself now, in the present.
No, you are not. You're looking at the future.
The future!
Does that make sense to anyone?
And that laser is going to see dynamic, entertaining aspects of that picture. Just so you know.
Oh, and not only that, but yeah, exactly. In very, very nice angles, it will show you newspaper clips that are just the screenshot of the newspaper. So dumb. Like the nuke going off. Where is it? A camera in the sky? Is it from a helicopter? Where is that coming from? Is that Ben Affleck's future? Is he standing on some blimp as the nuke goes off? I don't know.
I think we're beating this poor horse.
Yeah, we're beating it. So we're beating it to death. So I'm going to play this.
So you're saying he sent himself a different set of personal items, ones he'd selected after using the machine, and nothing our security would flag.
Everyday things.
Yes, this was the
Combined
movie.
with the power of foresight, transform Michael from engineer to escape artist.
I'm pretty sure that was probably in the trailer at some point too. And then the last one was this.
Oh, you remember the birds. Well done. You could see into the future, and all you remember are Polly and Tweety over there. Why don't you remember something that would make us rich? Huh, Mike?
Wait a second. So of course, what does he use?
Wait a tick.
Of course, he does the trope of this horrible thing that I have to destroy, which has a self-destruct button. Might as well have. Why do things have to have a self-destruct button? Anyway.
It didn't have a self-destruct. It had littered nitrogen.
Right, but he used a bullet in the thing.
Hydrogen.
what was liquid hydrogen? Liquid nitrogen, wasn't it?
I thought it was nitrogen.
Yeah.
I thought it was hydrogen.
Well, liquid something cold.
Liquid, some type of gas.
Yeah, something that was.
Yeah, I think it was nitrogen to cool it off.
Right.
Liquid beer.
Right. So, the point being is that basically he had a method of which to destroy it. Like it seems like there's always these doomsday things, or there's always some kind of way to destroy it, but who knows? Anyway, but yeah, of course, then there's the trope that he had to use it to make himself rich, because why not?
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't lie.
Tropes: sidekick is invisible trope. Running people over to foot chase. Douchey attorney general just wants the evil thing. That's kind of a specific for this movie, but it's like the government.
The government needs it. Yeah.
To protect their interests, right? Yeah, because the U.S. government can be trusted with a lot of things.
Like our guns.
Yeah, but you know who can be trusted? Audible.com. Audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews.
Going to say the devil.
And no, audibletrial.com/cheapseat reviews, where you can get this book called Paycheck. And
who's the author there?
By Philip K. Dick is the author. You bunch of children. He's written other really great works that you should check out. A lot of good sci-fi that he's done.
His popularity is rising.
It really is. He was the brain behind what's it called? The movie Blade Runner and several other really.
Oh,
good.
I heard that movie was rock solid.
It is. So you can
competition is really stiff in that market.
So you can get that book or many others with a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/cheapseatreviews.
Oh, we're such boneheads.
So everybody just stand up right now. Just get nice and tall, nice and erect, and go to audible.com right now.
That's right. Unless you're driving, then don't do that. Matt Damon was originally considered for the part of Michael Jennings, but turned it down because it was too similar to The Bourne Identity. Just before Michael starts his second project, he comments on the Red Sox making the World Series. Although the film was released in 2003, it is set in 2004 and accurately predicts the Red Sox making the World Series, although they actually did win it that year.
Maybe they did see the future.
Maybe. It's just like Back to the Future 2 predicted the upcoming World Series, which is kind of funny. Well, they haven't predicted it yet because it hasn't happened yet, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway. Ben Affleck, Aaron Eckhart, and Uma Thurman, as we mentioned earlier, are all in the DC universe. I'm not going to read that whole thing. And the year before, Ben Affleck appeared in Sum of All Fears as Jack Ryan, a role previously played by Harrison Ford. This film is based shortly on the book.
Sweden, too.
Whose work also inspired Blade Runner, also starring Harrison Ford. So there's your Harrison Ford connection. Soundtrack, I gave this an SA for Spy Action. This was John Powell. John Powell's score. He's the guy that did Sam, one of our favorite scores. He did How to Train a Dragon.
Okay.
The
one that should have won that year.
The one that should have won that year. So he is a Oscar-nominated.
The one that Chad still hasn't seen.
Yep.
Still hurts my soul every time you say it. And what did I learn? Well, I already told you what I learned.
That's impossible.
You can't change the future unless you're the hero. All right, top 3. Sounded like somebody's balloon got let go or something.
It was the scene where the kid's balloon gets shot. It's very sad.
There you go.
Oh, that's a trope too. You know, like they're in a mall and the kid comes up and pretends to have a gun, and then the guy shoots it and the balloon pops. That's a trope.
Well, if you're Gene Wilder, you shoot the kid. Oh no, you don't shoot the kid. You turn around and he shoots you in the ass.
There's another movie that do that. What is it? Interspace. They do that. Which is anyway. So top 3. We picked the top 3 amnesia films.
Whether you like them or not.
That's right, Chad.
Actually, my computer is running really, really slow. Come back to me.
Okay, Corny.
All right, I'm gonna go with Goku because they did have a couple of movies. Goku, the Super Saiyan.
Okay, sure. Why not? They made those movies.
Yeah, but he's an amnesiac.
He's amnesiac. Okay.
All right. Hancock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Will
that
Smith
one.
film.
Yep.
I actually like that film a lot.
I actually did
Decent.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number one, and I guess
Well,
we
that's the
might
one
all
with
have this. Oh, go
Scarlett
ahead.
Johansson's really hot in that one too.
She's not in that movie.
Isn't she?
It's no brows.
No, it's not. It's not Claire Danes either. It's
Who's it?
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, it's Charlize Theron.
Oh,
yeah.
Charlize Theron. Yeah. No, I'm not. I think she has eyebrows. Scarlett Johansson.
Barely. And then Jason Bourne of Supreme, Bourne Identities series. Thank you.
Okay.
I is done.
Sam.
Okay. My number 3.
Nope.
Has to be. It's a tie between two movies, and they're both the same series. The Hangover 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
It's basically the same movie over again in the second one, but God, I have not laughed so hard as I ever have laughed in a movie theater for that second one. So, love those. Then I go serious with number 2 with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is interesting. And then number 1, I've got Finding Nemo.
There you go. Chad, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to go with the Bourne Identity series.
Yep.
Finding Nemo and Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Ah.
Right.
Which one?
The first
Not
one.
the first one.
First.
The second one looks pretty, but is terrible.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to do it for this podcast for that reason.
Kind of like Taylor Lautner.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I picked 4 because I just assumed that everyone would pick Bourne Identity. So I went with, and Corny, I'm kind of surprised you didn't pick this one, Wolverine from X-Men. Yeah, you went with Goku over Wolverine from X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I have my reasons.
Of course you do. I also chose Hancock. And my number 1 was a Jackie Chan movie, and it's literally called Who Am I? And
Who?
I think
Who?
yeah.
Who am I?
Thank you for continuing on.
I couldn't stop.
What were you going to say, Corny?
Oh, I said I couldn't stop.
No, I said Who Am I by Jackie Chan, and then somebody was going to say something, and then Chad started singing.
I was gonna say I think you're making this up.
Think I'm making what up? That's a movie?
The movie?
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
You're not Sam. I apologize.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What?
That is fair. Well, there you go. That's it. Top 3. Those there. No
in the books.
In the books. No email tonight.
Oh.
Except that I got an email alert saying that
Sam signed in.
No, it was a Twitter alert. That's okay.
So twittered you?
No, it was. It doesn't matter. It was a Twitter thing.
You're getting kicked off Twitter already?
No. Chad, out of 10.
Yes.
This is where we do our out of 10, where we give it a rating of 0 to 10.
10.
This is where
I'm gonna have to give it. It really did keep my interest, and even though Uma Thurman was not very attractive, I think it was the hair. I'm really sure it was the stringy hair.
Yeah,
the drug addict hair. Yeah,
the drug addict hair. Yeah. It did keep my attention. I like Aaron Eckhart for reasons unknown.
He's just an interesting guy,
It's not every day you see a guy with a butt on his face.
I mean, but between him and Afleck, they've got some pretty strong chins.
Yes, they do.
They are chiseled faced men.
That must have been in the casting call. We are looking for chisel-faced men.
We want to find someone that if you punch him in the face, it's going to hurt your hand.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it's kind of a cheesy movie, whatever, but it's called Battle L.A. or Battle Los Angeles.
See, you and I disagree on this one.
And you didn't like it because of shaky cam.
Yeah.
Right. I like the movie fine, and basically it's like a recruitment video for the Marines, because I love Aaron Eckhart in that, because he's this old grizzled Marine who kicks complete ass. It's pretty good. I actually like it for that.
So out of 10, I'm gonna have to go with probably a 6.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. I mean, that's about what IMDb has right now. Corny.
Well, let's see. Again, maybe CSR existed in 2004. This movie's probably getting about a 7.5. Now I can't go above a 5.5. It was, I mean, like I said, most of it was kind of bad, and I lost interest very quickly. As a matter of fact, there was about a good 10 minutes where I had to decide to finish the movie as opposed to just faking my way through it because I remember it. So, but I would rather watch this than, well, Rubber. So,
I mean, this isn't going to be in our bottom 10
ever.
I mean, this isn't the worst, the top of the 10 worst films we've seen. There are better 90s action flicks than this, certainly. Truth be told, corny, I'd rather watch Commando than this again.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, because
Commando was awesome.
is hilarious for some of the wrong reasons, but they're still hilarious. I just want, Stan, you haven't watched it yet. You've not seen Commando.
No, I haven't seen Commando.
As soon as it gets on streaming, we're watching it. The moment it hits streaming, we're watching it. Because you have to see the barracks that are made out of gasoline. These buildings are made of like gasoline and explodium. I mean, he throws one grenade in this thing and it goes up like Independence Day, the White House. It's crazy. Sam, your rating.
I'm going to give this one a 4.5.
Oh, you really didn't like it.
Yeah, 4.5 random gadgets given to me from myself in the past and the future out of 10.
Okay.
I bet 3 of them are things to say about Sean.
Little notes to myself.
Yeah, just slap
this
Sean.
would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. I was bored. I just had a really hard time enjoying this one. It wasn't any fun and it was stupid.
Yeah.
So that was my reasons.
I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't know. I pretty much spent the last hour completely bashing this movie, and which is fair because it deserved it. It deserved a good scolding. I say 6 because I still had some fun with it. I think if you don't have Paul Giamatti in it to bring it up just a little bit, it's a really, really bad film. Now it's just kind of a mediocre film. Ben Affleck has even gone on TV and said that he didn't even like making this movie. But a lot of people have said that about John Woo because he doesn't speak English, so it's hard to work with him. So anyway, 6.
Well,
what, corny? You gonna try to talk me down off my 6?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 6. I'm with Chad. It was enough that I don't know. If this was the first time viewing it, I might have been. This might be like a 4. I almost feel like part of it's like because I used to have a good time with the movie. You know, it's like we used to have a good time, so you're gonna get some little bonus credit for that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I'm just. Blah.
But that's probably true. I mean, that's fair to say. That's it. That's our podcast. Cool. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. What are we doing next week?
Next week, now remember a few weeks ago, there was the sad news of James Horner's passing. And it was said on the podcast that we should do a movie that James Horner did the score for.
Absolutely.
Which I went through Netflix as best as I could to find said movies. And I couldn't find one that was like a genuinely great James Horner score. You know? Like,
yeah,
Field Dreams. It didn't have Apollo 13, or it does have Star Trek 2, but I'm not going to put you guys through that.
I thought the second one was a good one.
Second one is a good one. It's the best one. It is the best one. But if you don't want to watch another Star Trek film, because we've already done 2 for the podcast, I wasn't going to do it unless we want to do it in the future, which is fine. But it's one of my favorite scores.
Are we gonna tell ourselves in the future to do it?
We can. So the movie that I picked, and we have some time to make a change if we want to, but right now it's Patriot Games, the Harrison Ford Clancy movie. What's his name?
Isn't this the? I thought this was the. Okay, never mind.
Tom Clancy movie. So this is This will be our third Jack Ryan movie.
Oh, okay, that's what I was trying to get at. I thought it was a Jack Ryan. I didn't know. I guess Tom Clancy does Jack Ryan stuff.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought he was just Rainbow Six stuff.
Yeah.
But,
well.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be our third one, and in order to get the last actor, we'll eventually have to do Some of All Fears. If we want.
Wait. Do we get a free movie if we do all?
I
We get them all.
I don't know. Or maybe
We're gonna get a discount.
Yeah. So yeah, Patriot Games will be our movie next week.
All right.
So there you go. I also added a bunch of other movies to the list, and
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. I've already teased the new Transformers movie and Noah.
Terminator's now on there.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Oh yeah.
So look for those. If you have a movie that you would like for us to do, please send your emails. That's not the right button. Sorry.
No Angry this week?
No Angry Scotsman this week.
We must have worn him out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed Sharknado, our commentary episode of Sharknado. It was, if it was as much fun to listen to as we had making it, then it's a good time. If you don't like that type of thing, well, that's what the rest of the shows are for. But
yeah, that's why we only do it every so often.
Yeah. If you have a movie or anything, hell, we might even do an episode of a TV show that's really worth commentating.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Well, no, so he has to be.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Because the whole time we're just be going, well, that guy died. That sucks. Oh, that girl just got raped. That stinks. Anyway.
Hey, I like this guy. Oh no!
Oh no! He doesn't.
Oh no!
Because remember, guns don't kill people. George R.R. Martin kills people.
Kills people.
Absolutely.
So send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. If you have any requests, we would love to hear them, read them, and accept them. We follow us on Twitter at CheapSeatCast. You may follow me at Sean J. Allred, at Suniji16, it's Sam. At Johnny Darko 16 Corny, and at Maestro_Evans for Chad. You may also visit our website, cheapseatreviews.com. Facebook.com/cheapseatreviews is our Facebook page. Leave us a review there on iTunes and or Stitcher. And on behalf of Chad, Corny, Sam, this is Sean saying goodnight. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your day, wherever you may be listening. And thanks again for your support.